Unraveling Passive Voice, Common Misuses and Fixes. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our English language learning series. Today, we're going to delve into an important grammar topic, passive voice. Specifically, we're going to tackle the common situations where passive voice is misused, and how to correct those mistakes. Let's get started. Before we dive into common misuse, let's do a quick recap. Passive voice occurs when the object of an action becomes the subject of a sentence. For example, the cake was eaten by John is passive. It's not inherently bad, but it's often overused or used incorrectly. Passive voice can sometimes create confusion or weaken the impact of a sentence. Let's see the most common situations where it's misused. 1. Unnecessary complexity. Some people use passive voice to sound more formal or intellectual, but this often makes the sentence harder to understand. For example, the book was read by me is unnecessarily complex compared to I read the book. 2. Obscuring the actor. Passive voice can also hide the person or thing doing the action. For example, mistakes were made does not tell us who made the mistakes. Be mindful of this when you want to be clear about responsibility. 3. Lengthy sentences. Passive sentences tend to be longer and more awkward. The ball was kicked into the goal by the player is more cumbersome than the player kicked the ball into the goal. So, how can you correct these common misuses of passive voice? Here are some tips. 1. Keep it simple. Always aim for clarity and simplicity in your sentences. Instead of, the book was read by me, say, I read the book. 2. Identify the actor. Make sure to identify who or what is performing the action in your sentence. If you say, mistakes were made, specify who made them. We made mistakes. 3. Shorten your sentences. Transform passive sentences into active ones to make them more concise and engaging. The player kicked the ball into the goal is more direct and powerful than the passive version. Remember, the key is to use passive voice appropriately and not to eliminate it completely. There are instances where passive voice is useful, such as when the actor is unknown or irrelevant, or when you want to emphasize the action over the actor. That wraps up our lesson on passive voice misuse and corrections. Keep practicing, and remember, clarity and simplicity are your friends in writing and speaking English. We hope this video was helpful, and we're excited to see you in our next English language learning video. Happy learning!